We're here with Soul Listening. Our topic is going to be on cancer, and I just want to say welcome. I'm Thane Westerman, and I'm introducing Ann Radelf, and she is the expert person on leading us through this today. And just want to say we're really excited to have you here today to hear about cancer. Right now, it's been kind of prevalent in my life. I've had a lot of friends just recently pass away from cancer, and it seems, maybe it's my age, but it seems like it's more out there than it had been, at least in my life. So yeah. Ann, how are you?
I agree. I find this topic concerning, and I don't feel I'm an expert on cancer as much as the soul communication in cancer.
That's right. Sorry how I said
Since um, my experience with cancer, it is our cells growing very rapidly compared to normal and getting off track. They're not maturing like a normal cell would be. And to me, it represents something foreign in our psychological body. We are not behaving in a way that's true to self. We are not behaving in our most mature form. Our cancer cells are showing us that. And in a healthy person, cancer cells arrive and the immune system will take care of them right away. But when someone has cancer, it means that the immune system is somehow being tricked and fooled and not taking care of these abnormal cells. And again, it's an opportunity to look at where am I not being true to myself? And I think that I am being true to myself. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. Well, I know that I've been told it has kind of to do with anger. Can you touch on how that kind of plays a part in that?
Well, I think when we're not being true to self, there is going to be anger there. Something within us is going to be angry that we're not being real. And we are so often sidelined from being true to ourselves early in life. As children, we're taught you should be doing this, you should be saying that. And so we're taught a mechanical model of what is right and wrong in terms of words and actions rather than what is authentic to you. I'm thinking of, I was once with a family member who had a little girl, and um, the family member, we were out having lunch, and she said, "Oh, there's Mrs. Jones," we'll say. And the little girl said, "I don't like Mrs. Jones." And her mother immediately said, now, that's not nice. You are to smile and say, "Oh, hi, Mrs. Jones. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you." And the little girl, she was being real. And her mom was trying to get her to be socially acceptable. And I find that happens a lot. So there's going to be anger there that we're being sidelined from.
Yeah, I'm sure raising your children, they need to be polite in the restaurants and fit into society kind of thing, and we teach them that, and how much of it is, some of it's needed, but is it all needed? That's a great way to be kind of more observant. Was that really, is it okay to just let my child have their feelings and who they are?
And to ask, why don't you like Mrs. Jones?
Yeah.
Hey, that's important. What
Curiosity. Yes. Yeah. A lot of times children are more perceptive into their intuition and just deep knowing, and it could be cultivated at that age instead of pushed down.
Right.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, because I find in therapy so often people don't know how they feel. They don't know what they really think. They're so used to, "Hi, Mrs. Jones, nice to see you," that they have forgotten that genuine expression and they have to find it. And it can be really hard, particularly after decades of pretending it's not there and saying the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just to imagine what the world would be like if parents were taught how to explore what the kids really, who their essence is, and open that up instead of shoving it down.
And if we did that in schools, wouldn't that be amazing?
I would love that. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm remembering helping a friend move once, and she had T-shirts that were very expressive of her different emotional states. And I thought, wow, wouldn't that be neat if we all were allowed to wear T-shirts that angry mood today, watch out, or um, biochemical, hormonal, whatever, alerting people so they could read the shirt and say, ah, okay, I'm going to step lightly today with this person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, so many times we take somebody else's anger or frustration, whatever, we take it personally. And it's never personal. It's always, if you can stay in that point of view that it's not about you, it's about them. I had an experience with a checker, and it's like the nonverbal is so important, and I don't think we give it enough credit. Where she was quite rude, and I was like frustrated, and all of a sudden my mind just went to, why is she so upset? What's going on in her life that would make her so upset? And as soon as I did that, she shifted, and I have chills right now. It's like, why is this person angry, or why are they, you know, acting this way? And if you don't take it personally and just wonder about their life, what's going on that would, affect them like that. Oftentimes people do. She felt it just in me questioning in my mind. It wasn't verbal. And she shifted like that. And we can shift like that too. Really just being, I like how you said about being curious, like, why do I feel this way, or what. And I'll say, even recently, a friend of mine that we're quite close, but once in a while I feel this like, wow, I'm celebrating something. She's bringing out all the bad points. And we ended up talking recently, and she said, that's how I talk to myself. I'm doing what I do to myself to you. And here I'm celebrating, thinking it's great. And I would say it happened at least 4 or 5 times. I was wondering if I even wanted to be friends anymore, or maybe I just don't bring up my celebrations. And finally we talked about it, and she said, that's what I would say to myself. And I'm like, wow. And a couple times, if I would have got mad and got off the phone, I would have missed the gift. Like, she helped me with some technology things. And I was like, wow. I mean, she is a good friend, but there would be this little glitch. And when she told me that's how she talks to herself, it really made sense. You know, sometimes we don't. I mean, some people don't talk to themselves. They talk to themselves worse than they'd ever talk to any other person.
Mhm.
And I just really think it's important to realize it's not, somebody else's words aren't about you, and it's not personal to you.
Well, I think there's a time and place for taking it in and moving
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. But on the topic of cancer, I think it's so important to know ourselves because it will lash out at other people what we're holding inside, or it will lash out in our bodies. And
Mm-hmm.
the next thing you know, we're expressing our aggression, either taking out on another or taking it out on our own tissue.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yeah, which
destructive.
is not good. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's so important to really be in tune with what we're feeling and expressing it in a constructive way.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just stuff it. People think they just stuff it and hide it, and what's the big deal? Well, the big
No.
deal is that sooner or later, what we've stuffed is going to express itself physically or at other people.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I think it's yeah. And our words are powerful too, what we're saying, to ourselves can create it, help it, or make it worse. You know.
So, like you did with your friend, we need to do the same thing with all of our symptoms and disease processes, is just be willing to sit with them and say, hey, what's going on here? Can you tell me directly and not through a potentially terminal illness? Tell me with words. They say with little children, use your words, use your words. So the same thing, use your words, use your feelings to tell me what's bothering you rather than damaging a body organ, for example.
Mm-hmm. That's so amazing to have the ability to even say what your feelings are. I mean, I grew up in an age where we didn't talk about feelings, and now they have children's books that talk about the feelings, and I think that's so awesome, because if you're not, some people just get the feeling but they just shove it aside, and the feeling's the first thing, and then like you say, we have a disease and they want to cover it up, but really it just wants to express, and that's how it's expressing, is through the disease. And I think if more people realize that, oh, this is here to tell me something, I need to, listen and feel what I need to feel to get to the point of relieving it, healing it. I mean,
and haven't we all had experiences where people dismiss us, like, oh, don't listen to things, she doesn't know what she's talking about, and how bad that feels? That what?
mm-hmm.
We do that with our bodies all the time. We don't hear the vital messages, intelligent, loving messages they're communicating, and we're seeking to get rid of them with our medicines or procedures or whatever. Not that there isn't a time and place for that, but also hear, sit with them, really try to understand what they're communicating, like you did with your friend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes it's not just always one thing. It could be a multitude of things. I know when I was healing from that autoimmune thing I had, it was like I can name at least 5 reasons why I was sick. 5 different, they're all totally different. They're not one thing. So maybe that's another thing too, that people can be aware that if they find the one, doesn't mean it's the only one. The body might be
often layers, right?
Right.
The most comfortable one is what we speak of, and then there may be some uncomfortable ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't know, it's almost like the people I know with cancer, they aren't communicating to even their friends. They kind of hide, and not all of them, but a couple of the friends, I didn't even know they were sick. Of course, they, we're not in the lives every day, but there was no hint of even where I have another friend that has something, and she has a little Facebook loving, I can't remember what hers is, but she keeps everybody up to date on what's going on in her life, and I think that's beautiful. And she has been doing it for a while, so that's a good thing. And she's still grateful for life. I think being grateful for our life and choosing to live, choosing to be healthy, I think when you really want those things, I think things shift, and things, it makes it easier to find those answers. Just being aware that your body's trying to communicate is a huge step forward in the journey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that people often think that health is a happening, like it's beyond anyone's control, or maybe it's genetically determined, rather than it's something we work on every day. We're choosing health by good quality foods that will meet our body's needs, good quality emotional exchanges that have us moving emotionally and growing emotionally, good quality exchanges of mind and thought and belief, and having our minds expand and grow. There's so much to health and healing. And
there is, yeah.
They know, like, for example, I went to this one financial program at church, and they were teaching about finances, and I thought it was great. And then they mentioned everyone needs to have health insurance and end of life insurance and special care insurance, all these different insurances. I don't even remember all of them. And I'm thinking, how is health different than finances? Meaning you're telling us what you need to do to be financially sound. There's the same sort of thing to be healthy. You don't happen to fall in debt. No, you get in debt when you or spend more than you earn. There's a certain logic to it. Same thing with health, that we have to follow certain daily regimens to really be conscious of what we're feeding body, heart, mind, and spirit.
Mm. Well, I think a lot of people go into fear-based thinking they won't have enough when truly it's our birthright to have more than enough, and come from abundance instead of scarcity. And kind of the same thing as when one door open closes, another door opens, like trusting that your life is for you, not against you.
And that health is a possibility for all of us if we choose it and are willing to follow the unique healing path that we each have.
And our bodies are very resilient. I mean, I'm shocked at how resilient the body can be. And yeah, I think we don't realize how powerful we are, and embrace our resilience to, the mind can, I don't know, the placebo effect, if that happens. And look at all the people who have healed from things that we're told they'd never heal. I mean, it's not their job to tell you when you're gonna, but it also is our job to say no. I choose life. I'm not done yet, or whatever. And I think, we all are gonna die sometime. I'm not saying that we're not, but I fought death. I mean, I went to the bottom, and I'm like, I want to live. I choose life. And I think that's a huge thing. And then being willing to heal what needs to be healed and be open to the healing and to the communication from your body, stepping into who you are, what you came here to do, and following your soul's path, because you probably do have a soul path, that you came here for.
I'm thinking of someone I met recently who was telling about her healing journey was through her son that was born with a particular affliction, and that she was able to find a path of healing for him, that he now has a normal life. And I was astounded because the affliction that her son has was one I learned was genetic. And I work with these people in pediatrics as far as they were in and out of hospitals on meds and just one procedure after another. And she gave me a different path that I had never heard of before with this particular illness. And I was amazed. And I said, I thought it was genetic. And she said, oh, yeah, that's what they told us too. But I found out it was actually a nutritional deficiency. And she gave me the study on it, and she corrected the deficiency and just really started investigating health and healing. And now that's her path, teaching people that there are so many paradigms. If we're not comfortable with one, as far as there's genetic or nothing you can do, choose another one. Just keep investigating and opening up to possibilities.
I love opening up to possibilities. That's really a amazing way to look at it. Yeah. And I think about the quote, in the Bible, with God, all things are possible. And I'm like, that means all things, right? Healing too. And,
And afflictions aren't necessarily always bad, in the sense if cancer cells growing very rapidly, it might be a communication. We need to be growing more rapidly, mentally, spiritually, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it could be anything like that. And looking at your life different. So many people are fear.
Weight loss is a common cancer symptom. It might be telling us we're carrying too much of a load of past trauma that we haven't dealt with. Or another cancer symptom is just malfunctioning of the body part that has the cancer in it. So it's just an opportunity to look at where we're not functioning to the best of our abilities.
And probably self-love is probably key, and a big key that a lot of people could have more of. You know, how are you talking to yourself? How are you thinking about yourself? What's your value? You know, do you accept yourself 100% and fully? You know, I think those are huge.
If we're really okay with ourselves, we would be ourselves, who we really are, not a conditioned model, a partial self.
I love that.
Well, do you want to tell us about your pitch party coming up?
Oh, okay. Yes. Every Tuesday at 4:30 Pacific time, we're doing a pitch party on Zoom. If we end up with too many people, we'll break out into different breakout rooms, but it's a place to practice your pitch. And that way, maybe some people, even on the pitch party, will be your ideal client. Who knows? It's basically there to kind of get used to saying it and practicing it. And it's been one of those things that it's a learned skill. And some people are great at it. And some people need more practice, like me. And so I just want to say, if you have any interest in coming to the pitch party on Tuesdays at 4:30 Pacific time, you would just go to just send me an email on Loving Life Community for Women. It can be a man too, but for women at gmail.com. And I will get you the Zoom link if you would like to join us. It's really always interesting and fun. Yeah, thanks for reminding me about that, Anne.
Sure. And we still have our upcoming healing community meeting. It's every other Monday night. The next one is March 31st at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, 7 Mountain, and 6 Pacific. More information, go to my website, annradelfs.com.
Yes, and if you need us, let us know. In between, we're here for you. We want to grow this community. We'd love you to invite other people. It's free. It's just a great asset for healing and growing your business with the pitch party, and maybe finding some clients through our community. Yeah, and we have fun together because fun's important. Yeah.
And just remember, healing something we have to work on, like anything else in life. It's a skill.
And I just want to say, self-healing will lead to world healing. We all need healing. And so I don't know that we ever get to where we don't. But if somebody does, let us know, because we're curious.
Amen to that.
Thank you. Hope to see you tomorrow, 4:30. Bye-bye.
Now.